Back around 2021, after Luigi's Mansion 3 released, I was kind of just thinking about the future of the franchise and making lots of videos based on what Luigi's Mansion 4 could actually look like. And lots of concept videos came up, and yeah, just look at them on screen. And if you guys want to check out these videos, they're actually put in a playlist now. Anything Luigi's Mansion 4 related, you can go check it out. But I wanted to continue this, and I made videos talking about all kinds of potential outcomes, like a haunted museum or some type of cursed castle, or maybe a haunted train, or even a creepy cruise ship would have been some really cool themes. And I really enjoyed making those videos, and thanks to Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, it's got me really thinking about the future of the franchise, especially as we're about to transition to the next console and seeing how well Luigi's Mansion 3 sold. So I think Luigi's Mansion 4 is not only coming very soon, I think it's imminent, and I think it's going to be one of the biggest titles for this next console as well. So I wanted to jump back into these prediction videos and, you know, talk about some more options that they have for a future game. I mean, seriously, the possibilities are endless. But yes, today, this game is taking place in a mall. Yes, Luigi's Mansion 4, the Monstrous Mall, literally puts Luigi inside a giant mega mall that's filled with ghosts, and I can't wait to kind of explain to you how this game would actually unfold. But before we get started, if you guys really enjoy content like this, stop what you're doing, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Luigi's Mansion and Nintendo in general. And without further ado, let's jump in to Luigi's Mansion 4, the Monstrous Mall. Now, like I said before, pretty much any floor in Luigi's Mansion 3 could probably be expanded upon to make a giant game based all around that one theme, and that's exactly what I'm doing here once again, obviously basing this game off of the Hotel Shops floor from Luigi's Mansion 3, which actually is very similar to that of the Mall Cop movie with Paul Blart, because there's even a whole officer ghost named Cruller where you have to take him out and he acts very much like Paul Blart. I've made a whole comparison thing about this already, but yeah, it's a pretty much one-to-one comparison. So yeah, I really thought a whole game based around a giant mega mall would be pretty awesome to see Luigi kind of go through, and that is where we are actually beginning our video today. So to start off talking about this game concept, let's talk about the map. This will be one giant mega mall. Now, it won't just be this giant abandoned mall that has absolutely nothing in it. There could be sections that are broken down and abandoned, but for the most part, it'll be a giant mall that's definitely active and full of ghosts doing all kinds of things in this mall. You'll have ghosts that are shopping, ghosts running retail stores, just the whole lot. The whole thing will obviously be ran at night, giving it that creepy level of atmosphere, which you definitely need in a Luigi's Mansion game. But for the most part, yeah, it'd probably be a similar story to that of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, where all the ghosts were just kind of hanging out and doing their thing, and then King Boo came by and just made them all angry, or maybe made a deal with them in order to all attack Luigi when he sees them. So all the ghosts in the mall will actively be trying to get Luigi for some reason or another. Now, the mall can have up to like 3 to 4 floors. I'm talking a huge mall, and obviously escalators in order to get up to each floor. But the escalators will be chained off, and you can only unlock certain escalators depending on how far you get on your adventure. And of course, as you get further in the game, more escalators will open up, allowing you to go from floor to floor. And this will be a lot more like the first game, where you actually have a giant open mall at your own disposal, but this time even giving you more freedom, allowing you to go to certain stores and areas that are not necessarily in the specific order that the game wants you to. You pretty much can pick some chapters that you want to do, or pick some stores or floors that you want to go to, and you can pretty much have a different playthrough than anyone else and experience different things in different orders, which would be pretty cool. And once again, having that kind of open-endedness that the first game had, where it was still linear, but you would visit multiple different floors and shops at different times. Now, some stores will be relatively small, like a normal store you would actually see in a mall, where you can do a couple things, maybe get some collectibles, some money, find a couple of ghosts in there, but some will be a lot bigger and have giant themed areas on the inside, maybe like a pirate themed clothes store, and there's like pirate stuff all around and stuff, just bigger areas altogether. Not every single store is going to be like realistically small, but some definitely can be just for some smaller purposes. But you can have basic shoe stores, clothes stores, maybe even like an indoor movie theater. Like I actually have one of those at my mall, so that would be really cool. Or maybe like a place where you can just buy movies, like a Blockbuster type of store would be awesome. Maybe some type of video game store or arcade in the mall. Maybe like an indoor glow putt. Like I know some malls have like a little entertainment area where you can go to the arcade and there's like putt-putt. So seeing like a neon putt-putt golf course on the inside with like neon glowing ghost would be so cool. But you could have like a nail salon, a barber shop, once again, like we had already in Luigi's Mansion 3. You can have a jewelry shop, maybe a shop that sells watches, or maybe just some themed after different things, like I said before, like maybe a space-themed clothes store or pirate theme, something along those lines. There's so many different stores that they could do. Some other things I was thinking about was like maybe a giant food court, and maybe there was tons of portrait ghosts, or maybe just one that possessed different food all over the food court. That'd be so cool, and you like fought like a pretzel, a hot dog and stuff. Oh, goodness gracious, I'm having so many ideas. But outside of a food court, you also have like maybe like a little play area where the children are allowed to play, so maybe that's where some ghost children are, or like portrait ghost children like you had from Luigi's Mansion 1. That would be pretty awesome. Now I know at least for my mall also has some other things. For instance, there are escape rooms in my mall, so maybe there's like a little escape room that you can go play. I mean, that would perfectly fit the theme of Luigi's Mansion, considering the fact like the whole game is an escape room if you think about it. Or you could also even have a gym with lots of weight equipment and stuff. We've had references of that with like a certain portrait ghost in Luigi's Mansion 1 with like, I think his name was Biff Atlas, and we also had, I believe, a pool and small recreational gym area in Luigi's Mansion 3. So once again, just kind of pulling from some stuff from that game and fleshing it out into bigger and better areas. I would also love maybe like an area with like a little indoor go-kart place. Once again, I guess my mall is just that crazy. But yes, I have a mall that actually has this where you can pretty much race go-karts inside, or maybe something along the lines of like Top Golf. Maybe there's like a Top Golf facility, like a driving range or something that you can go to outside. Would be so awesome. Or maybe just a straight up golf course. Like that would be insane. Oh my gosh, I'm getting ideas for another video. Now you got your setting, but what about the ghosts? And we kind of already touched on a couple so far, but they're definitely just going to be themed after these different locations and stuff. For instance, you'll probably just have a lot of ghosts walking around or floating around as just like guests, and you can actually capture them if you want, or you could just leave them alone. That'd be pretty cool. But you'll have your basic classes of ghosts like you've had in the first 3 games, your regular small greeny type of ghosts, or your hiders, or the ones that actually are super strong brutes like the big red ones. But of course, we need boss ghosts to return, or portrait ghosts, whatever you want to call them. You could have like a food court chef, or like some type of possessed food, like a giant ghost pretzel or hot dog or pizza slice. You could have a ghost band performing, like there's some like a performance in the middle of the mall, and it's like 4 ghosts in a band or something, and they all have like different attacks based on their instruments, which would be so cool. You could have an arcade, maybe like 8-bit ghost for that arcade area, or maybe a ghost that tries to dance against you in like DDR machine or something. Would go crazy. Some type of go-kart boss ghost or something that races you on the go-kart track. Maybe a possessed golf cart or something that chases you on the golf course. A ghost barber that has like tons of scissor attacks and like shoots razors at you and stuff. That sounds insane, but yeah. Security or police ghost, once again, like Crueler. We could have a strong baseball player or a gym ghost like we've seen in the past. You might be thinking, why baseball player? Well, I just thought maybe it's because there could be some type of like batting cages or something. If you have a driving range, it just would make sense. You could have like a Hot Topic emo ghost, you know, that sells like those emo clothing stores you see at the mall. And maybe the same way King Boo worked with Helen Gravely for the owner of the hotel, maybe King Boo's working with the owner of the mall this time around, which is some type of like big fat corporate CEO or something like that. Very similar to Haltman from Haltman's Works from Kirby's Planet Robobot. Something like that would be pretty funny to see. Now what about the story? Well, at the end of the day, it's not going to be that deep. It's Luigi's Mansion. They never are that deep. And even with any Mario game, the stories are never that deep. And I expect it to be the same for the future game. Maybe they'll surprise us and have something creepy and crazy, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But I think for this story, it'd be really cool if a lot of people from the Mushroom Kingdom all came to visit this mall. I'm talking a lot. Not just the normal cast of characters. I'm talking about Luigi has to help and save a lot of characters. I'm talking Daisy, Rosalina, Pauline, maybe even Wario and Waluigi. Maybe, hear me out, even Bowser and Bowser Jr. want to come to this mall and go shopping. Like everyone in the Mushroom Kingdom gets invited to come to this mall. And maybe there's even other characters and side characters that you can save, like some of Bowser's minions with Shy Guys and Koopa Troopas and Goombas. I mean, you just have to save pretty much everybody in the Mushroom Kingdom. That would be pretty awesome. And I think it'd be more interesting just to have more characters in Luigi's Mansion, making Luigi even a bigger hero than he already is, which would be great. But what if also after you save each person, you actually get a little bit of an upgrade, and this goes into the gameplay a little bit as well, where EGAD is able to use one of those upgrades and, you know, give it to Luigi as part of his moveset. For instance, if you save Bowser, he gives you like an ability to breathe fire out of your vacuum or something like that, or EGAD works with Bowser in order to create that ability for EGAD's vacuum, which would pretty much reference the first game as well, because he could also like shoot fire and ice out of his vacuum. I'm surprised it hasn't returned still in any of the other two games. Or if you save Bowser Jr., you can shoot paint out for some reason, maybe to cover ghosts and blind them, or specific areas of the map that you need paint for. I don't know what that would be, but you get what I'm saying. And just each character has their own little thing that you can use. Maybe you save Yoshi, you can fire eggs out of your vacuum cleaner as like a projectile thing and shoot ghosts with them. There's a lot of things that they could actually do to increase the things that Luigi can do with his vacuum. Instead of just suck and blow, he can actually do a lot of projectile shooting, or maybe just different things for different puzzles. But once again, your job is to get to the top of the mall. There's like a little office area for the CEO where you had to go up there and, you know, confront him, and of course King Boo is helping out, and there's boos all over the mansion as well. It's pretty much a general story, and this time it's just taking place in a mall, so there's not anything super crazy that they need to change or add. Luigi was pretty cool, and I like the addition for there to be a second player to play co-op with, and I think that should still be an option for co-op, but not a mandatory function for the game. For instance, I feel like they should actually go with Polterpup as this second help for Luigi, where you can actually switch to Polterpup in order to go in small areas, or, you know, go through certain walls or doors. I think that would be pretty awesome, and use him as like a scout dog or something along the lines. But look, a super in-depth story is not really needed here. As long as it's a really fun game, I don't think people are going to care. I think the only other thing that'd be really cool to have is like a proper, you know, skill tree, so that way you can use all the gold that you find to upgrade your equipment. You could already upgrade like your suction power and your dark light ability and stuff. So if there's an actual skill tree that, you know, made these abilities better, especially if Luigi's getting abilities from these different characters as he saves them, maybe one that shoots more fire out of his, you know, vacuum cleaner, or one that gives him more shield or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure Nintendo could come up with that. But at the end of the day, I would be really stoked to have a Luigi's Mansion 4 take place in a giant haunted mall. I think that would be amazing. There's so much they could do. I probably just scratched the surface, and I'm sure you guys are thinking of even more crazy things that could happen in this game. So let me know in the comments down below what I missed. What other cool things of a haunted mall would you like to see? What type of portrait ghost would make the cut? Definitely let me know. I'll be reading your comments and checking them out. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.